Welcome to Fit to Be Real.
And a little extra.
Do you feel like your life is hard? Do you feel like things could just be a little bit easier?
I do.
Well, do we have a chat for you?
Yes.
We have some tips and kind of eye-opening things for you to realize that maybe your life actually doesn't have to be that hard.
It doesn't. It really
And
doesn't.
Small ways to make changes. There's gotta be a better way.
There's always a better way. There's always a better way and an easier way. We just like to do things the hard way.
I'm Victoria.
Hey guys, I'm Carly.
It's just so aggressive. There's no breath.
It's because I take the breath before and then I get it out in one.
How many times do you think we're going to talk about this?
Every time. It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, but it's always something new that we're discovering.
All right. Today we're talking about making your life easier. But the best way I can compare this is, when you're a kid and you have no responsibility. You don't worry about anything. You eat when you're hungry. You drink when you're thirsty. You play when you want to. You go to bed, not when you want to, but you sleep when you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
You fall down, you get back up. But as you get older...
Is this a poem? Is this an epic poem?
I will get back up again. That's from Trolls, the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I had to get a song in there
Yeah,
first.
you kind of ruined the poem.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, as an adult, when you fall down, circling back, you get back up. It's a little harder to get back up. And then you stop trying. You start avoiding the things that are making you fall down. Instead of learning from it, you just avoid it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I do that. I know.
You definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm an avoider. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. I am an absolute avoider. But I think life doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. And we don't even realize sometimes that we're making it harder for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
No, I don't think you feel good about it.
No. No, I agree. I actually like directions.
Same.
No.
No.
Well, yes, but no. Because what I'm thinking in my head is like IKEA directions. Like I like it laying out and going piece by piece, organizing the pieces, starting with step number 1, knowing what I need to grab because I've organized the pieces, and then doing it from there. Unless we're, in a bind and everything's really fast and you just have to make decisions. But
Well, that's me.
that's why I said I agree
Yeah.
with you, but I don't agree with you. You don't like
No.
IKEA, just build it.
Yeah.
Just make it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, your go-to for a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that when I'm with you.
Do I rub off
I'm
on you?
trying to think of situations where I haven't wanted to step by step go through things, and it's not in my own world.
It's only with me.
It's in your world.
And I'm like, hurry up, make it fast. Just figure it out. You don't need directions. Just put it together. I am very much like that. Like, just do it. Like, we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, let's take a second. And it's funny that you brought that up because this past weekend, the game of life is big in our house. And now that Dean is 4 and he sort of gets it, he sort of gets life.
Does he?
He gets playing. But we were playing life this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Andrew, because Andrew's like you, he likes to read directions. I was like, we'll just teach them as we go.
Not when it comes to games, Andrew. I would like to just play the game. Thank you.
Well, now you're defeating my point.
I know. I'm sorry.
Because he was like, no, we have to say the rules before we play life. And I was like, no, we're going to learn as we go. And I was like, whoa, this is deeper than it.
Did you start your divorce papers?
Yeah. And I was like, listen, this is not how I roll. And it's taken you how long to figure this out? 16 years? But Dean, we get to do you want to get married?
Mm-hmm.
To that little square. And he looked up and he was like, no. And I was like, you don't want to get married? And he's like, nope, I want to keep going. And I was like, oh, why don't you want to get married?
Were those the two options? Get married or like keep playing your turn?
Mm-hmm. It was like, get married, keep playing. Right. And he was like, I want to keep playing. And I was like, why don't you want to get married? Like, I was like, is there something
4-year-old child?
Well, is there something I'm doing that I'm showing you that you shouldn't get married? He was like, I want to go. I want to go. And I was like, this would be a really interesting podcast. Now he's 4. Okay. He's a go, 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 go. He's not really thinking like, oh, should I get married? Should I stop? Should I really think about this? Like, what's the next step? But if you haven't played Life in a while,
I haven't. Actually.
It would be really interesting to play after you listen to this podcast.
Cool. Awesome.
Anyway, how to not make your life harder than it already is. Because daily life is hard. But things you are doing can be contributing to making it harder when it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to name off some things that you might not even realize that you do. And if you do them.
If you do, Sarah, do.
If you do them, don't. It's that easy. Just stop. Number 1, we look to everyone else for the answers only we can give ourselves, which means what success is and what looks good on you, you are going to other people for their validation or justification instead of just listening to yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you're constantly looking for other people's opinion, other people's ideas of what you should be doing or what fulfillment and success looks like to you, you are completely taking yourself out of the situation and you're constantly floundering, holding on, grasping at straws, basically like, what's this? What's that? And that is exhausting.
It's called anxious attachment.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. You're an avoidant attachment, but people pleasing and looking for validation because you've missed something earlier in life. It's called anxious attachment.
I didn't know that, but I don't have anxiety.
What's the next one? Moving on.
The next one, you let others make you feel guilty for living your best life. That's pretty self-explanatory.
You make others feel guilty.
No, you let others make you feel guilty.
Gotcha.
For living your best life.
So you make yourself feel guilty.
Yeah. As long as you're not hurting anyone, live your best life. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty. I feel like we need a whole episode on guilt because
I know
that is a huge one that I feel like comes up all the time.
Yeah. It's a condition that we've all been conditioned to feel. This is my success. This is what I have achieved and I have done, but I'm not going to talk much about it because I don't want you to feel bad. And I don't want to feel like I'm talking myself up and patting myself on the back. No, it's called confidence. It's called being proud of something that you've done or something that you're, passionate about talking about. But we all kind of cower down and we're like, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. No.
Well, I will constantly say something to Victoria and she'll be like, and I'll say, oh, I feel so bad. And you're like, well, you're making yourself feel that way. Yeah. That person isn't making you feel that way. That is the situation. The way you're choosing to feel about it, that's on you.
I mean, I do the same thing too. It's just easier to it's easier to yell at you.
Well, it's also all of these little steps put extra steps on each situation. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
Instead of just being in it and moving on, you're adding all these different layers until it's getting harder and harder and harder to get out of it.
Do you know what helps though?
I'm going to say it starts with Thera and ends with P.
No. I was going to think of a joke, but I couldn't come up with anything. But no, you're wrong. Taking a minute and breathing and then deciding and then whatever it is.
Right. But I'm a reactive person.
But you don't have to be for the rest of your life.
Right. Because I'm making it harder.
Because that's your choice to decide, I am what I am. This is who I am. It is what it is. You know how much trauma is locked up into that mindset? You just take a moment and you breathe and you go, no, I'm not going to feel guilty for this.
Yeah.
And then you move on. And then that little steps like that, I guess you don't have to take those moments so drastically to kind of center yourself and take a breath. It'll just get easier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because it becomes habit.
Right.
Yeah. I got to try that.
I take a lot of breaths before I talk to you.
Next
I'm a breathing machine.
Next one. You are part of the drama circle.
Did you make this list about yourself?
What does that mean? That means
Gossip, I
yeah,
would
gossip.
assume, right?
How would your life be different if every single day you just thought of the best in people instead of gossiped or found yourself, at the, what do they call it? The water cooler, just like talking about somebody, or like imagine your day without that at all.
Well, then you'd have to stop scrolling and clicking
Yeah,
on Instagram.
that's true.
Because I think that's the catalyst to why I feel like that water cooler is more populated these days, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's like a social media thing, because that's all you do
Just
is
gossip.
you scroll, you go, oh my gosh, have you heard about
Mm-hmm.
this? I mean, yes, they're celebrities, they're not in your circle, but it's something to talk about. And I think what I'm getting at is that if we normalize it in that way, which has been for years and years and years and years, and I'm not saying this is something that can like break immediately or will ever, but if we normalize gossiping about what the media is putting out there about other people that obviously are untouchable, that trickles into like your own little circle. So
Mhm.
then it becomes, oh yeah, Johnny Depp this. Oh, but guess what about, Francis over there?
Oh man, Francis.
Francis.
Good
Playing
night,
with all the
Fran.
animals. It's weird.
That was a Catholic joke.
WWJD.
Mom would be so proud.
But it's true. I think that's where that behavior gets practiced, and then you put it into your own life. And
Mhm.
it's, well, why do I care so much about Frankie,
Yeah.
Francis, Francois? I'm picking all the names. I don't know.
That Francis. But it's true. We spend so much time, and I know I have in my life spent so much time talking about other people. Maybe it's sometimes to make yourself feel better, but what does it really do? It makes yourself feel worse.
Yeah.
It's so negative.
Yeah, it's an endless cycle and an endless circle of like poor energy. And I don't mean financial. I mean the lowest vibrating frequency you could like live level, like your base
Yeah.
level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like we've talked about this before. Like, if people don't support you, let it go. Let them go. Ignore it, because you can't force anybody to. So stop talking about it and just let it go. In Victoria's words, or really somebody else's words, I think. Let them.
Yeah, definitely not mine. They're a very, very well-renowned motivational speaker and podcaster, Mel Robbins.
Meliar, she says, let them. Just let them. Let them be. Like, if there's a water cooler circle, walk. Yeah, I said water cooler. Water. Walk away. Just imagine how much more positive your day will be if you just don't talk about anybody else.
You really ran with that let them theory that I told you. She'll text me all the time. She's like, let them, let her, let him. I'm like, oh God, you're saying it all wrong, but I'm very happy that you've attached yourself to that.
Oh my God, I attached hard.
Yeah.
I attached hard.
Horde. You're not anxious at all. Horde.
So hard. Stop making your life so hard. Okay, moving on. I can't unsay that. Now I'm going to say it for the rest of the episode.
I'm not cutting that. I'm not.
Stop making your life so hard.
Oh, good. Say it again.
Okay. Next one.
Oh.
You might be making your life harder if you assign negative intent to other people's actions. Now, the easiest way to describe this is like, say somebody cuts you off in traffic, and then you're car raging. What is that called? Rage driving?
Road rage.
Rage.
I'm rage driving
See,
right now.
I don't have this because I'm like a super timid driver. So I don't ever get angry at a car cutting me off. But if I did, what you want to do is try and take that negative energy away and putting it on somebody else, and just let them cut you off.
I'm going to let you keep saying that, but I'm also, this just happened to me. And for a second, I didn't directly go to like drive rage. What did you just call it?
Driving rage. Oh, that's a driving range. Okay, yeah, drive rage.
Yeah, that thing. But I was like frustrated and I was annoyed. I was annoyed. I think that's different than rage. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, this is so, I'm trying to get somewhere, right? Because we're all just trying to get somewhere.
Fast, always.
Fast. And I took a second and I was like, they could be having a really rough day and they're not paying attention and they just want to go, 15 under the speed limit because they're not paying attention. Or maybe someone just, I went through all the things of like their day could be going so much worse than yours. Like, let them have this. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point though. Like,
but that's the point.
Being offended on a daily basis by people's actions that really have nothing to do with you. It's like, stop getting so offended. That happens to me a lot.
Yeah,
I know. I get offended and I take things so personally and then it affects me. And what you always say to me is like, why are you letting their negativity affect you? You just have to like let it go. Like you cannot let them affect you. But yeah, it's like being offended.
And it has nothing to, that's I think the key. It has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's harder to accept that concept when it comes to like personal relationships. To keep reminding yourself their actions don't, it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's really hard. But when it goes to a broader spectrum, like driving, or something like that, it's a lot easier to be like, this is not my problem,
right?
Or even something that's somebody else's story or somebody else's issue. I think that's something you do too, where it's we just talked about this. If I'm doing something or I'm being affected by something, you're affected by it,
right? And
yes, it's funny and we talk about it and it's like half true, but it's harder for you to detach from that to be like, it's not my problem.
Right.
She'll deal with it. Yeah. She'll deal with this, blah, blah, blah. We just take things on that have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
And that makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. Because imagine if you didn't take daily offenses by other people who don't mean to put it on you. What if that was just washed away? How positive and like more freeing and more light you'd feel.
I would feel a lot lighter if you were different. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I wouldn't be so offended by everything.
You think this is funny? Like I'm laughing because it's true, but I'm also laughing because it's true. It's a double-edged sword there.
It's not true.
All right, next one. You're making your life harder if you are worried that people will steal what you have.
Did you make this list?
I know. No, I didn't.
Is this about you?
I actually done my research.
Harley does this all the time.
I know. I am always worried that I work super hard and then somebody is going to come in and swipe it. And that...
Interesting.
And I've talked about this before, about how there is enough room for everybody at the table. There just is. And I know that. But it's hard. It's hard. That's a hard one to swallow because
you're attaching yourself so deep to whatever you're achieving.
Right.
And then that's even, I think, the biggest wash over all of this is the detachment of what we put on material things and what we put on the successes that we go through and the grief and all the other stuff. We attach so hard to effort, to whatever your business, your house. And if we just like let that attachment die a little bit, you wouldn't care if somebody else was going to go do the same thing that you did.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like I support the people that support me. Yeah. And I want everybody to win. But there are times when you get protective. And being protective and thinking that somebody is just going to come in and like take the rug from under you are two different things.
Well, when it's happened to you before, you go with the projected history of what you know. So that has happened to you when it comes to CFIT and teachers and close friends. So like that's what our brains kind of go to as the default.
Yeah. And I totally agree. And if you feel...
Thank you.
If you feel like every day is a competition, that's a problem. If you feel like every day is a competition with yourself, that's what you should be doing. You should always compete to be better than you were before. But when you're competing and comparing to somebody else, that's when it becomes, way harder. You can't.
Yeah.
If you focus on popularity rather than effectiveness. Now, this one was interesting. Because if sometimes you might be seeking attention rather than respect, and attention and respect are two different things.
Oh, yeah.
Being popular is being liked for a while, and being effective means you're making a difference.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one. That's a hard one to...
You're not popular.
Is that not popular?
Just for that word alone.
I never was popular, and I never... yes, you always want to be popular, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I have to do what these people are doing because I have to be popular. Like,
I kind of hate to tell you that you were popular.
I was not popular.
Okay, that's cute. You were.
I wasn't popular.
You were. You were a piece of a bunch of different groups, and you were well received in each one of those groups. And that's a popular thing for a high schooler, or for, I mean, college is a little bit different, but you were popular.
Yeah,
like, I
would
came
see
to
that.
the scene into the same school as a freshman, and everyone knew me because everyone knew you.
But everybody knew me because everybody knew Billy.
I'm right and you're wrong.
Oh, do you want me to say you're welcome?
You were popular.
You're welcome.
No, I transferred. I hated it. But thank you for letting me transfer, I guess.
She made a difference. She didn't want to be popular. She made a difference and she moved.
I wasn't popular. I was wearing horse shirts and chokers.
Right, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not covering up my acne. I was not popular.
don't do that. Don't be popular. Be effective.
And that goes, I mean, we just went to a high school place, but that's for the workplace and just life in general. Like, who cares
Yeah.
how popular you are in the neighborhood of Christmas light decorating? Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
No one's perfect.
are you using solar lights? That's effective. So,
Are you making a difference in the world?
exactly.
Yeah. Good one. I like that. Next one.
I don't care. I don't care if you like it. I don't care.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Your eyebrows say something very different.
I just got them done, so they're extra like. Anyway, you might be making your life harder if you are stuck on your mistakes.
Oh, well, yeah.
I know. That's a pretty straightforward one.
Yeah, and it's really hard to not.
Yeah, don't do that. Move
You know?
on.
It's very hard to move on from negative things in your life.
Yeah, it's like the bird that keeps banging into the glass door over and over again, not learning to, like, there's a ledge.
Oh, don't talk about Woody.
I'm just saying, like, when you keep making the same mistake over, like, there's another way. Find the other way and stop dwelling on your mistakes.
Yeah. Isn't that Einstein? The
I don't know.
definition of insanity is
Oh.
doing the same thing over and over again
Mm-hmm.
and expecting like a different result.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is a little, yeah, it's similar to what we're talking about, but the difference is like dwelling on the fact
Yeah.
that you're not changing, I guess. Yeah.
Which again breeds negativity, which brings you down, which makes your life harder. It all goes in.
Yeah.
Now, this next one is one that Victoria might laugh at me for, but this one really hit hard. It is always thinking of worst case scenarios.
Mm.
This is one of my downfalls, and I tend to do this at night in bed as I'm falling asleep, thinking of all the worst case scenarios that could have happened that day, that might happen tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I know, and it keeps me from sleeping. I mean, mostly is with the kids, like, you know, in a pool. I don't know. My mind just races. Like, I am a worst case scenario type
Yeah.
of person. I know.
You don't have anxiety. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's basically your mind wrestling with events that aren't likely. I know what it is.
Also called anxiety. Things that aren't real, that haven't happened, that you stress over.
we're moving.
That's what we call a mic drop. But I won't do that to all of your ears. I will keep the mic upright.
Yeah. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing it all. That's just,
I can't believe you spend that much energy at night doing that.
I don't mean to. My mind just goes there and I need to shut it down. You know what else I do at night that's not a good thing? And we've talked about this a million times. I mean, I scroll right before I go to bed.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
doesn't help.
You're a troll before you go to bed?
Yes. But really, thinking of the worst case scenario is like looking through a camera of doubt, fear, anxiety. And you can decide if you want to look at it that way or if you want to look at it like with hope and encouragement. And if you switched, you turn that light bulb on
Yeah.
and you switched, it would make a world of difference. It's just very hard to make that switch. Another big one, avoid facing the truth. Makes your life hard. I mean, come on. There's like, she hates me. There is no really explanation for this. If you are a truth avoider, that it sits on your chest.
But
It's
like,
a
what's
burden.
a truth avoider? Like, you don't want to hear I don't know, about like a specific situation or like somebody really evading the truth at all times. Like, what do you mean?
The truth about yourself or how you go about your life. And if you are just
Gotcha.
constantly dodging those truth bombs and you are going around this way, around that way, over the top, underneath, you have to like face it.
So it's like if you get a performance review from work.
Right.
And your boss is telling you ways that you could improve and need to improve and how it doesn't, coincide with the company, whatever. I don't know. We don't have this at our company.
There's no HR.
But I feel like this is something I hear a lot, like performance reviews halfway through the quarter and then the end of the, because it's really important to know what your faults are and where you can improve. But a truth avoider would read the review and say, oh my gosh, my boss hates me. He's wrong. I'm right. I'm doing everything opposite of what he said, and like dwelling on that.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, that's not true. That's not me. I'm not that.
Gotcha.
When, clearly this needed more dissecting than I thought. I thought this was a no explanation one, but it looks like it needed to be explained.
I think because I don't mind the truth, so it's hard.
It's hard hearing the truth when
But-
it's about yourself.
Yeah, but I don't avoid that.
Yeah. No.
I don't avoid that.
Yeah.
Even if, why are you, what? You do.
Oh, I'm a truth avoider. I don't mean to be. It's just, I don't mind criticism and I don't mind critique, but I don't like confrontation.
And they're
sometimes-
not the same thing.
I know they're
You
different
make
words.
It
I know.
confrontation.
I know. I make it confrontation.
Yes.
I know.
Ooh. The confrontation is in your own head.
Yeah.
Being confronted with constructive criticism is not you don't need to go to a defense mode and decide that it's conflict.
Yeah. And if I
So you don't take criticism well.
No, I do.
No, you don't.
No, I do. I'm going to avoid this and move on to the next one.
Okay. Do as we say, not as we do.
Last one. You might be making your life harder if you put off making decisions. And sometimes the bad decisions are better than being indecisive, because sometimes the bad decisions,
Right.
Now I'm not saying like life-altering bad decisions. I'm just saying the mistakes you might be making off these bad decisions will actually help you in the long run and are teaching you lessons. So I'm,
Don't go jump off a cliff
Yeah.
without a parachute.
please don't do that. But the bad ideas teach us lessons and no regrets. Then
Yeah.
you move on and make another one.
It's better to make the mistake than to not try at all.
Oh yeah. Go
So
big
it's
or
the
go
same
home.
thing. The decision making, just make one. Make one. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You figure it out, you move on, and you do it in a better way, whatever you're looking for in that decision.
Yeah, I think the most annoying thing for me is the back and forth. Even just to wake up and go to yoga early in the morning. The hour sometimes I spend going back and forth going, should I set my alarm? Should I not set my alarm? Should I set it? Should I not? Just make the decision.
Yeah.
And sit in it and live with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll get that hour back of my life.
Like right now, I'm deciding to ignore my dog's bells that she has to go out to go to the bathroom because we're in the middle of something. That's a decision.
And I like that decision, except she's not going to let you hold off for much longer. But
Let me. Just let me,
just
Pepper.
let her.
Let her.
To quote Michael Scott to finish this off and to wrap it all up is you miss 100% of the shots that you do not take. So take the shots, miss them every single time. You will figure out how to make it in those misses.
What did you call it earlier? I'm going to circle back
Yeah.
to that Mel Robbins. She has a theory. It's called the 5-second rule. So like getting out of bed in the morning, count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get yourself out of bed because there's no decision making. You
Ooh.
count down from 5, you do it, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And she does that to get herself to the gym. She does that to make a decision about something. It eliminates that back and forth. And then 9 times out of 10, when you're going back and forth about making a decision on something, whether it's really small or whether it's really big, you end up either overthinking and making the wrong decision because you're just thinking too hard, or you don't make any decision and you procrastinate for however long, and now it's worse when you actually have to get to that decision. So if you count down from 5, make it, go with it, and then go from there.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. So those are just some realizations that you might not have noticed that are making your life harder. We're going to talk about easy tips to help you make your life less hard.
Okay.
Delegate more. Woo! Do it one thing at a time. Woo! Leave extra time to get somewhere. Woo! Do activities that ground you or that you enjoy. Woo!
What does that mean, Carly?
It means do things that you enjoy. Moving on. Make annoying parts of your day more positive.
Okay.
For lack of a better word.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Understand your energy levels. So that means if you're a morning person, try and do your harder things in the morning when you have more energy. If you're a nighttime person, go ahead and work out at night when you have more energy. This not just for working out, for anything, but recognize when you have the most energy and do those harder things then. Walk and move slower. Remember to play.
Yeah, you're a 30-year-old someone. You can go on the playground and just sit on the swings.
I know.
Like, you're allowed.
Yeah.
And that's a fun thing to do. Playing, having more fun. Everything doesn't have to be so serious.
Break out the game of life. Play it.
We're going to play a game in the theme of how life is way too hard, and the game has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Sweet.
It's fun, it's frivolous, it means nothing, and that's what we all need a little bit more of.
I think so.
Also, Carly put me in charge of the game and I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's called You Think You Know, But You Have No Idea. This is the True Hollywood story of Carly's brain. It's a true and false game of random. I found a site of the most random facts.
Okay.
You can get a license to legally hunt unicorns in Michigan.
100% true.
True. Chewing gum can boost concentration.
False.
True.
Oh.
A regular internet user has 3 social media accounts.
Oh, I want to say false. I feel like they have more.
Yeah, false. 7.6.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Love the 0.6. That's
Yep.
like a half of Facebook.
It's like when you're not really invested, but you have an account. Laughing 100 times. Not sure how you were calculating 100 laughs. So like, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah,
ha,
I'm going to
ha.
try.
Mm-hmm. Provides the equivalent of 15 minutes of exercise on a stationary bike.
Stop. If this is true, I'm doing it. True.
Yeah, true.
Stop. No, I'm working
That's a
out.
breathing exercise.
I'm working out.
That's not a laugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Wow, I should be emaciated. It burns more calories the higher you go too. Did we just lose all of you?
Let's stay on this one. I like this one.
YouTube was founded on Valentine's Day.
Ooh. True.
Yeah, true.
That's weird.
The ostrich has the largest eyes in the world.
In the world? No, that's false. Hippos.
Do you know what it is?
Hippos.
A giant squid.
Oh.
Milk is 87% water.
Like cow's milk? True.
True.
Yeah.
A group of jellyfish is called a smack.
I hope this is true.
Pepper, shush. It is true.
Yeah. A smack of jellyfish. Yo. Give me that smack of jellyfish.
Why do you need so many jellyfish?
I don't know.
Elephants are the only mammal that can't jump.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's why I like them.
Because they can't jump?
I don't like jumping either.
White men can't jump. Elephants can't jump.
Yeah.
No, that's false. White man can't jump. white men are a mammal.
I'm moving on
Okay.
from this. I'm making that decision to move on from this. Goldfish have a 3-second memory span.
No, that's false.
It is false. Several months. Okay. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows.
No, I think she's got like thin 90s eyebrows. She's got like the thin, drawn on 90s. What does she have?
Right. True. She doesn't have any eyebrows. True. The black box in a plane is black.
No, it's like orange.
Correct.
Really?
The answer is false. Orange.
Yeah, I read, I do a lot of true crime.
You do a lot of pot? Are you doing it right now?
No.
The name burrito means little donkey.
I really hope this is true.
It is.
I'm going to be like, hey, kids, you guys want a little donkey for dinner?
50% of taste is determined by smell.
Ooh, true.
False.
Yeah.
80%.
Oh,
The sticker on fruits is edible.
no, that is false.
True, it's true. The modern image of Santa Claus was created by the Coca-Cola Company.
Oh, true. It's on every bottle. That's 100% true.
That is true.
100%.
The word witch comes from an old English word, which was spelled W-I-C-C-E. That means wise woman.
Clearly, that's true.
True. And I said that because I'm a witch. Last one. You got 99 problems, but a witch ain't one.
That is so true.
Guess what?
What?
You won the game of nothing.
I
Where
won the game of life.
The words don't matter and all the points don't mean anything either.
Love that game.
Whose line is it anyway? There's one way to find some more joy in your life that is costless and honest to goodness. So much fun to still watch. I just put it on the other night and I was like, oh my gosh, number one, they're brilliant. And number two, I'm laughing out loud by myself on this couch.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows.
Yeah.
And the points don't matter.
And the points don't matter.
Just like life, the points do not matter. You do your life the way you want to do it. Stop making it so damn hard.
And God, you really have to stop saying it like that. Like it's okay, acceptable, and normal. Well, your real tip of the day is to listen back and take one of these realizations, any of them, one of them that is the hardest for you.
No, say it.
To grasp. That is the hardest for you to grasp. Do your best to start making small changes to adapt that realization into something a little bit easier for yourself and your life. But you got to pick the one that is like, I can't do that. You pick that one and then go from there.
All right. Now for your real extra tip of the week. It's called Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. What does easy peasy lemon squeezy mean? Bake a lemon cake. I want you, grab the kids, grab your husband, grab your wife, anybody, grab a friend, bake a cake. What do you have to do when you bake? You have to zone out and you have to look at the directions. You need to follow the directions step by step, and you don't have to think of anything else in that time frame. Why a lemon cake? Because it soothes anxiety, it improves mental awareness, and it's an endorphin stimulator. And we all know endorphins make people happy, and happy people just don't kill their husbands. So grab that lemon cake recipe, take 40 minutes out of your week, and enjoy zoning out, baking, following directions, and do something for you.
One, I have to tell you that she's quoting Legally Blonde about killing her husband. So when something happens and true crime comes, don't listen back and say that Carly did it. Second, I made that face when you said easy peasy lemon squeezy because that was the original crossed out name of my game.
Stop it.
Yeah. And I had a whole thing about lemons I was going to say.
No way.
Yes.
Why didn't you say it?
I just switched it because I was like, she's going to make fun of me for saying easy peasy lemon
Why do you care? Why do you care?
Well, also it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to my game. But I did a whole thing. It's just so weird.
I
that
know.
You said that.
We think the same.
It's very weird. Stop saying that to try to make it real.
No, I'm trying to make it real extra.
Well,
I do want to leave you with a quote from a very, very famous person. His name is Ferris Bueller. And he said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. It does. Life moves pretty fast. You gotta slow down a little bit and stop making things so damn hard.
So, per usual, with all of that said, we hope you make lemon pie, lemon cake, lemonade out of lemons. And I hope you remember that you are always fit to be real.
And always allowed to be a little extra.
And now I will let the dog out.
Thank God.
Pepper.
That was so hard.
For legal reasons, we have to tell you that this podcast is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. We are not healthcare professionals. For all of your health, wellness, fitness, and self-care needs, please refer to the medical professional in your life, your primary care physician, your therapist, a certified coach, whoever it may be. And then let us know what they say, because I guarantee we need to know it too. Okay? Okay, bye.